never amount to anything unless he learned to behave like all the other students. But Albert didn't want to be like the other students. He wanted to discover the hidden mysteries of the world. And this story goes on, it's beautiful. And if those of you who know the story of Albert Einstein will understand why for Elmwood School, he is one of our inspirations. Our school is a science alternative school, so it's a public school. We are not exclusionary. We accept all children. So I thought just briefly it would be important for you to know as you walk through the school, because we had quite a few people through this morning and they were like, oh my goodness, they were overwhelmed by what they saw. And I think it's important to know that we've been on this journey for a long time. This is my 6th year in the school, and the staff is very stable here. So these are people who want to teach this way and want children to learn this way. And so we've been out to the Genesis Center in Edmonton Catholic, and in fact the principal of the Genesis Center is here today, Chris, who is a friend of mine as well from the Catholic district. And we've been out to St. Monica's. We went to Calgary to see for the Reggio Inspired Conference there. We haven't been to Italy yet. Boulder, Colorado, I heard is amazing too, but we have not been there. But we get into each other's spaces and we share and we learn together. And so for us it's been a journey, and what you see today hopefully will evolve if you were to come back again next year. We have a mission at our school, and it comes again from another great book, Ship of Dreams. In the book it's every child, every night, no exceptions, but we have this as ours because we just believe it's a very powerful mission statement to hold on to. And the rest is really just what we believe, because I have this little girl that sits on my desk and it says, dreams, have faith. And I think as you look around and as you're imagining the spaces that you're creating for young children, and for kids in grade 4 and up, that you have this dream, you have this vision first, and you hold on to it no matter what, and you get there, and then all of a sudden, you have these dreams, and then a few years down the road, you're standing in the middle of it going, this is it, this is it, and then evolve from there. So we wanted you to know it's been a journey, it's not been overnight, and we just are committed to continuing to do what Albert Einstein did, which is to be curious and to wander along the way. So our inquiry program in science is from K to 6 at our school. We also have an early education program, which Donna is a part of, and Joanne as well coordinates that as our assistant principal. But even there, because it's a district site, it has some tight parameters around it in terms of who can enter. We have community children as well, and we have children who have, but a lot of the kids come with severe special learning needs. And so we've tried to build that program as inclusively as possible. And so even though we have inquiry in our science program, we also have it in our early learning, and I would say even in our ISP program. So we're an inclusive site, but in our district we actually have 2 what we would call congregated sites, where a group of kids comes that have special learning needs. So all of these things matter to us across the board, especially the piece on environmental stewardship, and even Donna's children are engaged in that as they care for the environment outside, and she'll talk to you about that when she takes you into our outdoor learning space. Anita Rui-Olds, and I never know if I'm saying her name right, I'm sure Chris you know her work, and she's somebody who, she's no longer with us, but she is somebody who really inspired us to think about the environment as a powerful teacher in the lives of children. And her quote, we couldn't agree more, is about preparing for the miracles that come to us every day. And that environment, you'll have a lot of questions about how the teachers created their environments. And Jen and Carrie and Donna will tell you that what you see today is not what you would have seen last year or the year before. They too have evolved their practice and grown through professional reading, and some of that we're going to share with you later on so that you can take it away with you as well. And finally, our superheroes.
Oh my God.
My staff are a wonky group of people, and every once in a while, they totally throw Joanne and I for a loop, because they dress up just randomly on one day, all dressed up as superheroes. But they really are, for me anyway, and I know for Joanne, are superheroes here, because it really comes down to your teachers and the passion they bring and the openness they have and the curiosity they have and the willingness to take risks and fall flat on their face and get up again and try it a different way. And man, if I didn't have them, we would not have what you're going to see today. So ask them lots of questions, challenge them, they'll be open to challenges, and they are our superheroes for sure.
We talk about our environment and what we can do to our environment to empower and inspire children and the adults who live in this space at Elmwood School to be joyful and to want to play. So recently we did a little play workshop with some of the adults who live in this building, educational assistants, teachers, specialists, and we played. We got some supplies from the reuse center. We gave each other the gift of time to play uninterrupted. 20 minutes. The whole room in the gym was full of people on a play mat with their own play supplies. People panicked. They thought, oh no, I'm not sure what I should do with this stuff. But once people started to play, the adults began to see some value because they were experiencing this play themselves. So you'll see when you go to the Explorium today, some evidence of the learning that came from our solo play, our collaborative play as adults, and hopefully you see that spill out into the classrooms. That's the resource we used. There's a lot of research about play workshops right now, and you're going to get a resource list after that will reference some of those things. So setting the stage for play, I think the biggest thing is the joy that we feel when we come every day. Our role as teachers is to select the materials and stage the environment. Consider the environment as a third teacher. This staging might include engaging with the materials alongside the children without interfering, but just joining. Adults who play free their minds and are open to illumination, that aha moment when ideas flow freely. And that is when I am truly down on the floor playing, and I see their faces and I feel what they're feeling, then I know what my return will be. But I had to get on the floor and be upside down just like them to know what to return. We talk, and I hope that as you walk around this building, you're going to see a lot of documentation. And so my hope is that what our documentation shows you is that the role of documentation is to capture the wonder. And I think the teachers in this building have taken a huge risk to say, one day there was a pumpkin, and all of a sudden someone lifted it up high and it smashed. Guess what happened? There's wonder, and you can see it in all the pictures that you see around, or the evidence that we've got displayed in the rooms. Evidence. You got to see the evidence of the play. It's in the Explorium, the teacher play. We made this, or one group made this huge tree. They loved it so much they couldn't bear to clean it up. So why would we clean it up? We have to honor their work. They're going to come back tomorrow and say, I made that. And I feel good about that, and I wonder what I'll make tomorrow. That's the feeling we want our learners to have. The role of documentation is to describe the motivation and the learning that children have been engaged in. So we, the teacher researchers, I hope, have taken a risk for you to write about what we think the motivation was. Our documentation is also to plan next steps in a reflective and analytical manner. We talk, Karen said, with our teams, with each other. We run down and say, hey Carrie, I need eyedroppers because somebody's in the water. We have to do that, and it has to be emergent. It has to happen right here, right now. I don't need it next week. I'm not going to send an email to my teacher friend. I go running, and I usually have like 5 kids behind me, and we parade. We're coming. And then sometimes we think, oh, maybe we should walk slowly because, look, Miss KW is over there. So we self-regulate. And then we go to Karina's windshield, then we run.
And then I'm open to it.
And she says, come on, what do you need? In fact, she's got a store and we go shopping there regularly. So you'll see the store when you go to grade 2. Okay, the next one. So playful opportunities lead to learning. When children play, they are thinking, they are innovating, they are negotiating, they're taking risks while they're meeting all the curriculum guidelines and math and science and all the things that Natalie mentioned. They create make-believe events and engage in them as if they were real. They gotta go to Carrie's store. They stole all the teacher's supplies and they hold them there. So I have to go shopping on my break to buy glue goo, my sticky tack, because I can't get in the office anymore. So the math and the science is huge, and our social skills, wow. My 2-year-olds have to go buy the pencils for me. Children at play are learning to deal intelligently with the world. They are playing to get smart. And in your book, or later we'll give you a resource, Spotlight on Young Children and Play. Elizabeth Jones says beautiful stuff. There's a great article in here. And on your reference, your resource list later, you'll have it. I recommend you read it. That's my piece. And watches what they do. And that's a huge amount of inquiry that's going to go right there, right now. And he'll be part of it. You know, he talks about how some kids were, swinging them around and then whacking them on the wall. And the science that came out of those kinds of things for these very, very young learners was incredible. He's always ready. He said, okay, what's next? What's next? He said, they're swinging his line on somebody's bum. Oh, what are you going to do about that? It's a good problem solving. Anyway, he's a great person to listen to. Do you have any questions or anything that you'd like to do with this space, or would you like to go outside?
Outside.
Yeah. Yes, that's
Right through. Is there a curriculum for? Yeah. Oh, yeah, because even like posting. Wow.
I haven't just put these tree cookies in for a stepping stone.